when we go all the way to understanding what our truest essence is, it gives us the insight that life is a processing system. Life is an exploration of possibility. And where is the exploration of possibility happening? It's happening via us. We are the units, the sensors, the observers, the witnesses, the consciousness, the awareness that is able to process life. We are that which enables the exploration of this possibility. So you go all the way to the most essential nature of what we are, and you realize out of the boundless space of infinite possibility that this universe is a manifestation of an exploration of possibility. And life is the processing system that is that which comprehends, that which interprets, that which explores and plays of what this universe was manifested for. It was manifested for exploring a possibility of unbounded potential, and life is that which comprehends the possibility. Life is that which explores and plays the possibility space. When you view life as a decentralized processing system, what you do is you shift your identity from being a centralized entity that is separate from all other centralized entities that you have no relationship to, but rather the entire universe becomes your body. So you no longer have a firm wall of separation, but instead what you have is a very porous, very frictionless, very formless interconnectedness and interdependence to all of life. You become identified as life itself. You become identified as the entire processing system that is the universe. So if you take your identity from what was this conditioned, subconscious, separate, finite, biological entity, and in the process of awakening, you absolutely burst out of that little contracted identity to identifying yourself as all the way to the most fundamental essence, which is the very source of infinite possibility, unbounded potential that you'll never come to the end to, which is again eternity. Therefore, this universe is you appearing as the processing of potentiality. The universe is the processing of potentiality. And you've decentralized your identity to where you are the universe processing potentiality. You are life itself processing potentiality. And so, because of that, there's a very profound shift. You're no longer identified as a conditioned separate entity, but you're now identified as the very source of infinite possibility itself that has manifested an exploration of possibility and is using life as the very processing system to understand that possibility, to comprehend that possibility. So another way of saying it is that life is that which comprehends potentiality. Life is that which comprehends potentiality. Again, do your best to get out of the separate identity to identifying as life itself, as the universe itself, because if you can get to that stage, you can really start tapping into the unity and the oneness of life being the processing system and your identity being that whole life as a processing system, rather than being just a separate entity. Once you become more awake to infinite possibility being explored using universes and consciousness and life as a processing system, you then become more aware of what is the essential nature of reality, and you relax away any tensions, and you become more purely of a shepherd for the rest of life to awaken to this realization. So you have this absolute unbounded infinitude of possibility. And then you have the universe as a manifestation of exploring a lot of possibility. And you have life acting as the comprehension system, the processing system of all of that potentiality that has manifested in this universe. And I remember there was a viewer that was coming to our channel quite a bit and was mentioning this perpetually, that life is a processing system. And it was slowly landing more and more in my heart as I was awakening, but most recently as my identity has been just so decentralized that I finally really experientially understood what that viewer was perpetually saying by articulating that life is a processing system. And I'm really grateful for you. Thank you for perpetually saying that. And I hope that the realization ends up opening higher possibilities for you right now, all of these viewers. Because that is what ultimately life wants to do for itself. Life wants to help awaken itself to its truest nature. But the entire game that life plays, that infinity plays with itself using life as the processing system, is falling asleep to itself so that it can then undergo the process of awakening to itself. This might be one of the most important realizations, period. Because when you understand your truest nature as absolute infinity, total indescribable unboundedness, and you recognize that the universe is a manifestation of life processing a tremendous amount of that possibility space, you're able to relax away any of the conditioned tensions of separation that are subconsciously running your life, seeking validation or worthiness or money or fame or clout or relationships or experiences, because you recognize that the entirety of your truest nature is already, always, totally free, whole, complete, enlightened, always, forever. You have to remember that infinity's essence is that it always knows itself, but that it undergoes a process of veiling itself at the same time. It always knows itself, but it also veils itself and awakens via these processing systems. Unbounded potentiality and using the universe and life as a processing system of a tremendous amount of that potentiality. You are always never in a cage. You are always never in a cage, but yet you undergo the illusion of putting yourself into a sleeping cage and then breaking yourself out of that in order to awaken to your truest infinite nature. Cool. Life as a processing system. Hope this was insightful, valuable. If so, let me know in the comments below with where you're at. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't. Share the video with other people that you feel like this would be impactful for watching. And that's all. Infinite love. Decentralize that identity, baby. See life as a processing system of infinite potential. Comprehending such a tremendous amount of the space of potentiality. Thank you.